Shalom. Kal Halayama Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakak Radash. My name is Yahalal and I'm back again with another video. Amarak desire you may be edified. And I got this, I got inspiration for this video. Kind of thinking about the book of Daniel and the prophecies. Really, I was just thinking about the prophecies and the last prophecies getting ready to come, which is the MOTB and the WW3. So, this is where I got the inspiration for Jew or Greek. And before I begin, I also want to say shalom and salutations to the men of Great Millstone, who I learned this 100% truth from. Shalom to the Speckled Bird, the Confused Face, the Akim and Aqua, who also subscribe to the men of GMS, the Akim on the highways and byways, and last but not least, the elect. And I just got a couple of scriptures that I want to kind of hit real quick, because there's always a lot of confusion with these Christians after they listen to the elders and the prophets and the teachers, preferably of Great Millstone. They get scared and they go and try to study when they haven't been studying, and they get head cracked over the head with scriptures that puts them in a panicking, worried situation, and they're always trying to find their way, so they use scriptures like John 3:16 to try to help them, but to no avail. It doesn't help. Scriptures are specifically about the Israelites, and all the information that's in there is preferably about the Israelites. So, without further ado, let's get the first scripture I have is Joel 3:6. Oh, my back. The aches and pains, you know what I mean? Joel 3:6, and it reads, "The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border." Who are the Grecians? The Grecians are the Greeks. And before the Roman captivity came about, there was the Greek captivity. And this is what I'm talking about with the book of Daniel, the order of how things went from the Assyrians, the Babylonians, the Greeks, and then the Romans. And this is what was done to us. We were sold to the Grecians by the Hamites and the Ishmaelites. And, there's a confusion about who the Jews and who the Greeks were. And a lot of people like to confuse it with Amalek, the war humpers. And all they did was just, what happens is, in the book of Maccabees, in the books of the Apocrypha, which means hidden books, the Greek captivity was taken out. So when you get to Romans, you are confused with the Jews and the Greeks. And when you get to the New Testament, you are confused about the Gentiles. Who are the Gentiles? And the Gentiles are also the Hellenized people who are Israelites. Joel 3:7, "Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabines, to a people far off from Yahweh have spoken it." That's right, man. We were sold all across the four corners of the earth. There's plenty of scriptures to get that. I'm not going to go into that right now, but I always like to tell you scriptures. A good one to bring out would be James 1:1. And you can also go into the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and read down, and you'll get a good understanding. Galatians 3:28. And it reads, "There is neither Jew nor Greek, there is neither bond nor free, there is neither male nor female, for ye are all one in Hamashiach Yahushua." Now, who is Paul talking to? He's talking to the Galatians, and he is talking to the Hellenized Galatians in Rome. Well, I'm sorry, not in Rome, but who were this is the Roman captivity, and Paul is talking to them because they follow the ways of the Greek and they follow the ways of the Romans. Now let's get a definition I wanted to hit real quick. Gentiles. The Easton's Bible Dictionary. This is Amalek's dictionary. This is your dictionary. So Hebrews, usually in plural, goyim. That's what they like to call us, but they are the true goyim, meaning in general, Gentiles, all nations except the Jews. In course of time, as the Jews begin more and more to pride themselves on their peculiar privileges, it acquired unpleasant associations and was used as a term of contempt. In the New Testament, the Greek word Hellenes, meaning literally Greek, and that means that there's two understandings of Gentiles. Those, as I read, are the other nations who are not the Jews, and the Jews who follow the customs of Gentile nations. So you read that and you study that, you punk. Second Maccabees. And this is the Apocrypha I'm reading from. And this is the book that they took out because they didn't want you to know the true understanding of Gentiles and Hellenists. 2 Maccabees 6:6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient fasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. And in the day of the king's birth, every month they were brought by bitter constraint to eat of the sacrifices. And when the fast of Bacchus was kept, the Jews were compelled to go in to procession to Bacchus, carrying ivory. Moreover, there went out a decree to the neighbor cities of the heathen by the suggestion of Ptolemy against the Jews, that they should observe the same fashions and be partakers of their sacrifices. And this is how we became the Gentiles, because of their force, and kind of similar to what it is in America. Verse 9, and whoso would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles should be put to death. Then might a man have sent the present misery. Salaki, let me read that again. Verse 9, and whoso would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles should be put to death. Then might a man have seen the present misery. So you see what was going on here. You see that they forced us into worshiping and their gods and eating their defiled foods and following their wicked ways. And this is what's going on today. Only in Jeremiah, let me see if I can get that in Jeremiah. Jeremiah 17:4, and it reads, and thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. Thus saith Yahweh, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departeth from Yahweh. So, with that being said, it goes to show you there's nothing new under the sun, and what was done before was done again. And because the Lord was angry with us, he put us into slavery, and we were sold into the Grecians. And when we were sold into the Grecians, for generations and generations down, until the Romans took over the Greeks, we followed the ways of the Grecians, the Greeks, and then after that, we followed the ways of the Romans. And as Maccabees, 2 Maccabees show you, that if we did not follow the ways under captivity of the heathens, we will be put to death. So, Abba Rakazah, you have been edified with that quick lesson. My name is Yahalal. And I want to say again, shalom to the men of Great Millstone, who I learned this 100% true from. Shalom to the Speckled Bird, the Confused Face, the Akim, and Aquaf will also subscribe to the men of GMS, the Akim on the highways, and the elect. Kal halayim al Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Radash. Until next time, next video, shalom.